My cat just shot me in the face with anal gland discharge, and I'm not being dramatic at all when I tell you that I don't think I'm ever gonna fucking recover from this. It hit me in the mouth. It hit me in the fucking mouth, dude. It all happened so fast. I was laying in bed watching TikToks. She hopped up onto the bed. She got on my fiance's side of the bed. My fiance is allergic to her, so I tried to push her off of my fiance's side of the bed, and her butthole was facing me. And as I pushed her, this white stuff shot out of her, and I felt something touch my lip. It touched my lip. I ran to the bathroom and I washed my entire face with antibacterial soap 4 times in a row, and it still doesn't feel like I'm clean. And luckily it didn't get in my hair, but it got all over our pillowcases and all over the headboard of our bed, and it is the most foul smell I have ever come across in my entire life. It doesn't smell like poop even. It smells like ass. It smells like ass. And I was a CNA. I've had people piss on me, shit on me, bleed on me. If it comes out of the body, it's gotten on me. And this is still the grossest thing that has ever happened to me in my entire fucking life. My cat just...
I would rather go through that than listen to Leo Varadkar speak for any more than 5 minutes. So Leo Varadkar, the man himself, the man, the myth, he's a myth, the legend. We're going to speak about a few things today, guys. I'm in a funny mood today. I need somewhere to put this bloody pad. So Leo Varadkar has walked out of a press conference with a very good journalist asked him a question. Ben Scallon. It's too early in the morning for me. And he walked out before he could be asked the question. So before Ben could ask the question. And just to call out the hypocrisies on Leo Varadkar and his goons. And we're going to speak about a few things. We're going to speak about Conor McGregor, his sort of him backing up the no vote. We're going to start off with Leo Varadkar, and then we're going to get into Mary Lou, because apparently democracy doesn't care in Ireland. So if she doesn't get the votes that she wants, or she doesn't get the yes vote that she wants, she's going to have another referendum. There you go, guys. Democracy doesn't matter. So she's calling it before it even happens. Do you know what I mean? This is what we're living in here. These are the times that we're living in. But I want to say first off, remember, guys, smash the like button. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're watching this after the fact, make sure you share. I get a lot of shares from you, so thank you very much for everybody that comes in and shares all my stuff. I can only do these live streams a little bit earlier because that's whenever I record. It's at nighttime that I'm not free. But so yeah, if you're watching this on X, give it a retweet, give it a heart. If you're watching this on Rumble, give this a rumble, give it a share. I respect every single one of you. I'm using StreamYard here because it's a little bit better for me to interact with you. So I can't share comments to the screen in regards to the new free streaming software that Rumble has provided. Until they do that, I'm going to stick with my StreamYard. But yes, what's this far right myth, Leo? What is this far right myth that you keep talking about? Here, listen, I've got a myth for you, Leo. I've got a myth for you. It's an old myth. I don't know if it's far right, but listen, I'll give you this, Leo, right? So you can have that, my friend, and maybe you can use that to cook up something good for Ireland, because what you're cooking right now is absolutely disgusting. The food that you're cooking for Ireland is rotten. It's stale bread. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to go near the food that you're cooking. So there's a far right myth for you. Learn how to pronounce the TH, you prick. And see that's, by the way, that's a joke. I know there's different accents around Ireland. People get at my accent. Take the piss out of me all you want. I don't care. So it's like, I mean, what is this geezer doing? So we're going to debunk a few things here today, guys. We're going to debunk a few things. One of the first things we're going to debunk is that there was a lot of people saying that Ben didn't put his hand up, so that's why Leo didn't answer his question. And I get that there's a code of conduct at these press conferences. And this is one of the reasons why I think politics, not just in Ireland, is dying, but around the world. That's why everybody likes Donald Trump. He doesn't give a flying you-know-what. He doesn't care. He will just call out a journalist, call out a reporter, praise the good ones, and absolutely dismantle the ones that are talking shit. So, this is the death, what you're witnessing here, not just the death of the mainstream media, But the mainstream politics, we don't want that anymore. We want somebody that's going to stand up for nationalist values, regardless of what country you come from. Like, as an Irishman, you would like to go to Italy and just say you heard there was a bunch of Irish people in Italy wrecking the place and doing terrible things. You would like to think that Italy would come in and say, look, lads, you just have to go back home, instead of give them a house to stay in and money, a phone, and possibly a car. You know, you don't want people being rewarded. And this is a common theme that's happening around the world, where criminals are being rewarded for their activities. Just look at LA. Do you want Ireland to turn into LA? Do you want Ireland to turn into an absolute dump? There's literally an app that you can download, and it shows you where people are shitting on the street in LA. I mean, what's that about? That's what Ireland is going to turn into. Ireland's a very small place. I think LA is like, California and as a whole is like bigger than Ireland probably is. I'm not good with my demographics. So Ireland's going to turn into this. But these far leftists, these real far leftists like Leo Varadkar, they are actively trying to destroy countries. And he's not the only one. You've got them across all different countries right now, all singing from the same WEF European song sheet, and they need to be voted out ASAP. But what Mary Lou said today is very, very worrying. If they don't get the vote that they want, if they don't get the yes vote, they're going to go for another referendum. So what does that mean? Well, that means they don't respect democracy. And that means if, for instance, once Leo Varadkar is out of the job, will they accept that, or will they go full totalitarian and say, no, we disagree with this decision. We want another vote? Because that's where that could lead to. If we accept what she said now, she's setting that up for the future for many other different things. So we need to be very careful, and we need to be very, very intolerant to a lot of stuff. So yeah, I mean, crazy stuff, guys. Crazy stuff that we're going to go through today. So I want to react to something here. I want to react to Ben Axe asking the question to Leo Varadkar and him just walking out. Him like, I want to debunk a few things here. I think I've saved a couple of things in my bookmarks on X. I'll get this up now for you. I'll share this to the screen. So we've got, that's one of the topics we're going to be speaking about today. Conor McGregor. Yeah, he's a prick, but I mean, he's talking sense right now. He does love his country, like, you know, and he sees what's happening. That's another subject I might speak about. This geezer here, because I think he was attacked by his own people because he spoke up. He said something in a video clip. We might talk about that today also. So we're going to have to, I haven't got this saved on my bookmarks, so I'm going to have to go over to Grip Media. And we'll get this. This is up to, I think it's done millions of views now, guys. So here we go. We'll get this up now.
Confirmed that.
So this is Leo Varadkar walking out on a reporter asking him a legitimate question. And so you have to understand the context of this. He has created this thing, the fight against disinformation and misinformation, while actively promoting disinformation and misinformation. This is like a skit from Ali G. This is like something, Sacha Baron Cohen would create. Like, I'm waiting every day for Leo Varadkar to pull his mask off to reveal Ali G and say, this is all a joke. We've been recording this for the past couple of years, and this is going to be one of the greatest specials of all time. That's how much of a joke Leo Varadkar is. And the yin and yang, the difference between him and, say, I know you can't really compare him to Donald Trump, but people like Donald Trump, even Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau's a psychopath. He's actively killing his own people with all that made shit. Where if you're depressed, you can just go and end your life. It's crazy. He's an extinctionist. That's what that guy is. But Leo Varadkar is a useful idiot. And he is actively trying to destroy Ireland. There's no getting away from that now. And this has to be a comedy skit. There's no other way of explaining this. How does he wake up in the morning and think to himself, this is going to be a great day today. I've got the support of the people. I'm doing right by my country. We've put a cap on immigration, illegal immigration. The economy's booming. Jobs are up. Inflation's down. My people are happy with me. Like, how does he wake up, and does he wake up and actually think that? Because it's the opposite of that, my friend. It's the opposite of that. Illegal immigration's at its highest. Inflation's at its highest. You can't even get a place to stay in Dublin. The homeless it's through the roof. To buy a carton of milk, you need to remortgage your house. I was in Dublin there recently. The price of a pint of Guinness is absolutely shocking. This is the hub of the world, my friend Leo. You're forgetting what Ireland is. Ireland is the place where people go to because it's the hub of the world, and you've destroyed it. And I'll go one further. See, whenever that euro came into Ireland, it absolutely dismantled the place. I remember going down south and having the crack with all my family that live in Dublin, and Tala was a lovely place, and you could go in, you could have a drink, and it was cheap. See, now you couldn't fucking have a pint to save your life. You'd be scraping those pennies up, and everything's taxed. These people want higher tax and everything, so we need to be very careful. This isn't just, we're not Americans. We can't just move off to a different state. Do you suppose and when you're in Europe, you could move off to a different country, but the reality of it is they're all singing from the same song sheet. So if you go to a different place, it's probably just going to be the same. So, this isn't America. We're trapped here. It feels very claustrophobic with people like Leo Varadkar running this place. And the fact that he can't answer a basic question, to me, is it's a telling of the times, guys. Now let's get into this and I'll stop rambling.
Taoiseach and Minister Ryan, you set up the Electoral Commission specifically to fight misinformation, and that commission has repeatedly confirmed that the Constitution doesn't say. Minister Ryan,
look at that prick there. Like, I wouldn't have him look after a dog. Honestly, I wouldn't have him look after a dog. If it was between Jimmy Savile looking after my fish and this geezer, I would probably pick Jimmy Savile.
Taoiseach.
So, we'll watch that one more time.
Minister Ryan,
look at his face, right? The disrespect. That's what he thinks of the Irish people. What he's thinking about is, I've got a phone call with Klaus Schwab in about an hour's time, and he's going to send me some lovely little pictures of himself. That's what he's thinking. He's not thinking about what the Irish people need. Not what they want. You can't give people what they want all the time, what they need. What the Irish people need is a strong, solid leader that's for the people of Ireland. This fella here isn't for Ireland. That's the face of somebody who does not care. You voted this in. And this is what he's doing now. He's destroying Ireland. And right now people are saying, well, what can we do about it? You can vote him out. But what's worrying now is that they're talking about, when it comes to referendums, when it comes to votes, when it comes to democracy, when they don't get the answer they want, they'll not accept that. And they have the power to do that, because as it stands in the Republic of Ireland, the Gardaí are like Nazis. I was down there, I seen it, they followed me. I done nothing wrong. I'm not a criminal. And they followed me, they tailed me. I could feel the breath in the back of their neck. They were trying to provoke me into a situation where they could arrest me. And I thought to myself, this is like a Nazi state, and they're all working for that ideology, that far left ideology. Not all of them, but some of them are afraid to speak up. It's just like a cult. So this is that's the face of somebody who doesn't care. You need to know that he doesn't care about Ireland. He doesn't.
You set up the Electoral Commission specifically to fight
boom. He hears him. He hears what he has to say. He understands that that's an Irishman asking a question. That's a man in that room who's coming with a legitimate question. Why are you a hypocrite? I wouldn't have been as nice. This is why I can't be a journalist. I would say to Leo, why are you a hypocrite? Yeah, I'm going to give you my thoughts on that, Warren. I can't be a journalist. I can't run for political parties, a local candidate. I couldn't do that because if somebody asked me a question, I would say, "Shut your fucking mouth and stop acting like a dickhead." That's what I would say to somebody who comes to me, a far leftist who would come to me. You can't speak like that. This is why I prefer doing what I do here. I would say to Leo Varadkar straight out, why are you a hypocrite? Why have you set up things to fight disinformation and misinformation while actively at the exact same time promoting disinformation and misinformation? Does that logic not apply to you also, you absolute moron? Why have you not resigned out of shame? That's what I would say to him. But you can't say that. You have to be all nice and you have to go to journalistic school and learn about bipartisan and unbiasedness and, you know, doing the right thing. Fuck that. Why are you a hypocrite, Leo? Why are you a hypocrite? You're the biggest hypocrite that's ever walked. Far right mitt, far right mitt. What are you talking about a far right mitt for? What are you talking about? You're the majority, calling the majority of Ireland far right. You're an absolute disgrace. I don't even think you're real. You're probably some simulation that the WEF has created. You're not even a real person. Like as the days go on, I'm starting to think, you know, I'm going to go back to that. He's going to pull the mask off like some Scooby Doo episode, and it's going to be Ali G underneath, Sacha Baron Cohen going, "I've been recording this for a couple of years, guys. This is the greatest special I've ever done." That's what it feels like. It feels like satire. It feels like a parody. It feels like this is a joke and it's all going to go back to normal in the morning. But it isn't. This isn't a joke. This is what he's actively doing. This is what he thinks of the people of Ireland. I will turn my back on you because we do not care about democracy. We do not care about your votes. What we will do is if you vote against us, we will just discard that. And this is my biggest fear for Ireland. And this is proper far leftism. You want to know what proper far leftism is, guys? Just go to South Africa. They're culling white people at the minute. I've got a South African friend who works in the Chinese, and I was speaking to the Chinese owner, and they were saying, yeah, her mother, her granny and grandfather, who are like 80, by the way, have to live in a compound on their farm, armed to the teeth, and even their weapons are illegal because they're not allowed to own weapons. But they're not giving up their weapons because they're so afraid to move, and they can't get flights to Ireland. They can't get flights back to a safe place because they're so old. I think one of them can't fly. So this is that's proper far leftism, by the way. That's what's happening in South Africa, and that's coming to Ireland, guys. I'm not saying as extreme as that, but think about it. Think what's being imported in here. There's people being imported into the West and Ireland that actually hate the native people of those countries. So if we're hearing about shipments of certain things in warehouses with weapons, what are they for? That's in England. I got sent a photo the other day where there was weapons in a container. What are they for? This is the government realizes what's happening in these Western countries, and they're preparing for that, and they're bringing in fighting aged men that have come from war-torn countries under Sharia law that are war tacticians, high-end testosterone, while me and every other bloke around here is lowering our testosterone by eating donuts all day. How do you think we're going to come up against thousands of fighting fit men that have never seen a donut in their life and they're war tacticians? Yeah, you can talk about the fighting Irish, but realistically, come on now. See it for what it is, and then if you speak up about that, that's a far right myth. A far right myth. You're talking about far right myths here. No, this is the reality. Just look at South Africa. Do you know what I mean? They abolished all the farmers, and now they're fucking starving. Do you know what I mean? Who basically cultivated that land and showed them how to farm the land, but just kick all those people out. That's far leftism, and that's real far leftism, guys. Proper far leftism. And we need to be very careful what we allow here. Saladin, massive respect to yourself. I love your stuff. And I will give you my opinions on the guy, that Imam guy who allegedly got attacked. I was allegedly I think he got attacked by his own people, by the way. So you've got this journalist, right?
Misinformation, and that commission has repeatedly confirmed that
Look
the
at that.
Constitution doesn't say.
Look at that.
Minister Ryan,
The reincarnation of Jimmy Savile. I would have had it as a double barrel question. Why are you allowing a nonce in the Department of Justice to be on a committee that's implementing LGBTQ plus books for 12-year-olds talking about a trans woman with a penis having an affair with a married man? That would have been a double barrel question for me. Why are you a hypocrite? And why are you allowing nonces to operate inside the DOJ? A double barrel question. Leo would probably explode. He wouldn't walk out. He would faint. That's why I could never be a reporter, guys. I just couldn't do it. Jesse Smoulier. He is. Listen, I've got a different opinion on that. Maybe I'll talk about that next. I wasn't going to speak about that today, but Jesse Smoulier, Ireland's Jesse Smoulier. Is he Ireland's Jesse Smoulier? I'm just going to say how Dave Chappelle says it. Smoulier. But did the Muslims of Ireland realize that he was talking shite, or was he actually attacked? Was he attacked by his own people? So have I got that saved? Let me just have a look here. I think it was Michael O'Keefe. Big respect to Michael. Once again, Michael's one of the reasons why I started speaking about this. Search filters. What's going on here? Oh, here. Michael posts about 45,000 videos a day, so just bear with me here, so I can find this one. Oh no, he doesn't. He didn't. That was 10 hours ago. So we'll react to that.
A country of immigrants.
No, that's not the one. I want the full length one for you to see. I'm sure he posted that. Just give me a wee second, folks. This is live, so I can't edit this out. There was a full-length video of this geezer speaking, and I picked out a few things. Is this it here? Oh, this is it here. This is it here.
Of the Irish Muslim Council and Chief Imam.
So we're gonna react to this now, right? You want to hear about this, and listen, I have to really state this. What I'm about to say here isn't considered fact. It's opinion based. I don't know. There's an ongoing investigation. I don't understand how this geezer can come out on TV and speak while there's an active investigation going on. To me, that screams some type of corruption there. If I get attacked here in the north, I don't know. Like, I know about the northern laws, but I think the same applies down south to a certain degree. You can't really speak about much. The fact he's able to come out here and speak about this on TV without saying, well, hold on, I can't speak about this, I can't speak about that because there's an active investigation. Normally, you don't get these reactions from people until like 6 months after, and they're free to speak about it. And the Gardaí or the PSNI or the police or whatever of the West will tell you, right, look, now you can speak about it because it's done. The court case is done. Now you can speak about it. So, I that was worrying to me. I'm not going to lie to you. So we'll get into this now.
Last week, the chairperson of the Irish Muslim Council and Chief Imam, Dr. Umar Al-Qadri, was hospitalised following a suspected hate crime attack. The incident happened in Tala last Thursday evening, and Garda investigations are ongoing. Dr. Al-Qadri joins
Big up Tala, by the way.
Us now in studio alongside my panelists Lorraine, Clifford Lee and David.
By the way, I'm going to have to speak every 20 to 30 seconds because that's how a reaction video works on YouTube. The copyright laws are just completely messed up.
But Culnan, who are still with me, you're very welcome to the programme, Dr. Al-Qadri.
Thank you.
This attack happened, as we say, less than a week ago. How is your recovery going?
Thank God the recovery is going well. I mean,
I've got an idea. This geezer here is recovering from an attack. Did they crack him around the head or something? Leo Varadkar, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out for a fight on the Joyce's compound in Enniskillen or Oxford. We'll sort this beef. How about that? I'll get Big Joe Joyce. I know him well, and his cousin William. We'll sort it out, right? We'll have a bare knuckle actually in Oxford, right, in the ring, and we'll sort this out. Whoever wins, if I win, you have to put a cap on immigration and stop the craziness, the people coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning armed with a radical, dangerous ideology. If you win, which is very highly unlikely because I think I'll spark you in about a minute, you get to do whatever you want. How about that? I'm calling Leo Varadkar out for a straightener, a bare knuckle. We're going to show what a concussion really is.
Um, when I work on a laptop for more than 10, 15 minutes, I get very tired. But that's part of, I think, having had a concussion. But for the rest, I'm really, happy that the swelling is gone. The first few days, the swelling was severe. I couldn't open my mouth. Brushing teeth was very difficult. Now it's much better, much easier. So every day passes, recovery gets better. It gets easier.
Within hours of your alleged assault in Tala last week, you say...
He didn't like this part, the alleged part. He was like, what are you talking about alleged? Why are you saying this is alleged?
You experienced what was a deliberate hate crime attack. That's how you described it on social media. Why do you believe it was?
Okay, first of all, this word alleged, I'm sorry, I don't like it. I have been a victim of a crime. I've been a victim of an attack. So that's not alleged.
While Garda investigations are ongoing,
well, Garda
it's alleged hate crime in that regard.
It's alleged, mate, because they don't know what actually happened, so it has to be alleged. Do you know what I mean? This is the linguistic terms that the West has came up with to counter anybody suing you. They have to call it alleged until the investigation's done. This isn't Sharia law, like, do you know what I mean? Where you just... that boy stole a loaf of bread. Off with his hands. Off with his hands. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it is an alleged hate crime.
We're speaking,
but it's not an alleged attack. An attack did take place. So the hate crime is the part that needs to be investigated. So the Garda is currently investigating this. If this was an attack on just me, because for whatever reason, okay, that is fine. So many people get attacked. I'm not special. I'm an ordinary citizen of the country. I don't deserve the attention. But
what do you think that geezer's thinking about in the middle with the glasses on? He's thinking about lunch, isn't he? He's thinking about, you know what? I fucking smelled Subway walking by there, and it smells good. Like, it smells good. He's thinking about lunch, isn't he? That's what I'd be thinking about. Maybe it's just me. I think I've got ADHD. But see, when anybody like speaks and they bore me, I just start thinking about lunch.
But I don't think this was an attack, just random attack. I think this was a hate crime. Why? Because the people that attacked me, there is no other motive that I can see, particularly considering the current rhetoric that is very prevalent online. I am very outspoken against extremism, against racism. I have been previously very outspoken against Islamist militants, against...
Boom. There you go. Got you. Right. Now, here's what I have to pause it there for you to understand this. You need to I'm just going to take us away 2 seconds. We're going to react to this even further. You need to understand Islam. I'm not talking about Sharia law now. I'm talking about Islam in itself, just bog standard Islam. The Muslims of the world. Just say I'm a Muslim, right? And I speak out against Islamic violence, which happens. There's Catholics that are violent. There's Protestants that are violent. There's Irish people that are violent. There's English people that are violent, right? There's all different nationalities and races and religions that are violent. That's like the Buddhist setting himself on fire in India. It's a violent act, right? Now, in Buddhism, you can call out Buddhists for being violent. You can say, I disagree with that fella setting himself on fire. It's absolutely disgusting. He's a whack job. As a Catholic, I can call out the Catholic Church and say, the Catholic Church is full of nonsense, right? And they've been infiltrated by pedos because they've got access to children. Of course, it was infiltrated by pedos. And I know that Catholics around the world aren't going to persecute against me for that. Now, if you're a Muslim and you speak out about anything against them, even if it doesn't matter who you are, especially if you're a Muslim yourself, you're now completely eradicated from that society. And just say you move from England to Australia and word gets out who you are, the Muslims of that area will also do the same thing to you. And in some cases, if you're living in like Telford, your life can be threatened because, you've seen Silenced, you've seen Tommy Robinson's documentary on all of this. So you need to understand, if you're, I'm going to call it a cult. A lot of religions are very culty. I'm not just singling out Islam here, but in Islam itself, if you speak out against the things that they're doing that's wrong, they will attack you for that. You just need to know that. So whenever he said this to me, I says, "Hold on, you're a Muslim guy, whistleblowing and speaking out on, well, not whistleblowing, but you're speaking out about certain violence that's happening in the Islamic community around the world. You've just now put a target on your back." And then he goes on to say something else that I think that's what it is. So we'll watch on here. I want you to know that.
The people that kill innocent people in the name of Islam, in the name of my faith. And
that's a no-go. I've never heard a Muslim say that, ever. I've never heard it come out of a Muslim's mouth that people in Islam killing innocents in the name of that faith. That's the first Muslim I've ever heard say that. So I'm going to show him the respect for him actually coming out on TV and saying that. You need to give respect where respect's due. And I've never heard a Muslim say that, ever. So that is a massive target on his back from his own community.
If I were attacked by someone coming from that background, I would know, and at least that the people would, have a Muslim identity. These people that attacked me, they didn't look Muslim. They looked like just, ordinary white people.
Yeah, so to explain that, just
I know ginger people that are Muslim. There's literally ginger people that are Muslim. There's another guy there on YouTube that I know from my other channel, my bigger channel, that he converted to Islam, and he was a white guy. So what does that mean? There's people converting to Islam all the time.
just to our audience, you found yourself in Tala because you had agreed to officiate at a Muslim marriage blessing.
Yes.
Who first contacted you, and did it all appear to be normal?
Sure. So I was contacted. Basically, the phone line of the Islamic Center gets forwarded to myself. If nobody picks up in the Islamic Center, I pick the phone around 2 o'clock, and there was somebody with a very thick Irish accent in English.
Does not mean for nothing. That means for nothing. There's ginger white people in Ireland that have converted to Islam, and Muslims are very, very intelligent when it comes to how they target. Like, for instance, when it comes to Tommy Robinson, a lot of the people that targeted him, yes, they were the bog standard, what you think a Muslim would look like, a generic Muslim would look like. But he was also targeted by white people in hoodies with masks on that were also Muslims.
Asking, could the Imam come down to do a wedding in the house? So I asked, well, first of all, tell me, who are you? Where are you calling from? And he said, I'm half Irish, I'm half Pakistani. That puts me at ease. And he then said, I'm born in the country. So there are so many people born in Ireland, so many Muslims I know that have a very, very thick Irish accent. Mm-hmm. Unless you see them, you wouldn't know that they're actually second-generation migrants. So then,
what I like about this guy is he says something and then he debunks it himself. So he's just said something, but then he's just debunked it himself. He's like, well, yeah, it was an Irish person that rang me, sound very Irish, but there's loads of Irish people that are Muslims that you wouldn't even know that they're Muslims. Do you know what I mean?
Then I asked him, who are you getting married with? Who is the lady? And he said, she's from Algeria. So I said, if you send me a message on WhatsApp, I'll send you the application form, and then I will get the document prepared, and I'll come for the blessing. But why do you want it to take place in the house? Why don't you come to the Islamic Center? Because most people, not all, but most people would come to the Islamic Center. So he said, well, because we have family and we just want to do a small gathering at home, have the blessing at home. And that's fine. We try to be.
What I want to know is that a regular thing in Islam? Are small blessings just normal, or is this just out of the blue? Is this something that's a rare thing for him? I've never went to a Muslim wedding before, so I wouldn't know this. So is that a rare thing? Was there a bit of a red flag with that, like a small blessing? are the Muslims a bit like, you know, the traveling community? Did they have a big extravagant wedding with big dresses and stuff, or what does that consist of? To me personally, I think that was a shock to him that he was asked to do that.
As accommodating as
And
we
so
can.
you agreed on that basis to go to
Exactly,
Tallaght. But
and
when
this
you
is why.
arrived there, all was not as it seemed.
No, well, when I arrived there, the house, the address that I was given, there was only one car.
So there you go. There's a brilliant comment there. I didn't know that at all. So, mate, it's illegal to marry someone in your house in Ireland. So there you go. I didn't know that. I thought you have to go to, at the very least, a registry office to get married. Interesting stuff. So what was a geezer running about in Tallaght for, just signing marriages? Do you know what I mean? He was just running about houses going, you want to get married? No sweat. Just contact me on WhatsApp and I'll sort that shit out for you. Like he's selling 5 for 20 quid.
There was no other car. So that I asked, like I thought to myself, if there was a blessing here, surely there would have been some guests. So I called the number and the person said, well, reverse the car, come back to the beginning of the street. I'm standing outside in front of the house. So I thought Google has probably brought me to a wrong address. I reversed the car and I saw then this person waving at me at the end of the street, parked the car, and I came out of the car, and the rear of my car went.
This is the part where apparently it's changed a few times, and I've seen that. I just haven't saved it in my bookmarks. Can't find it again. Where this part has changed. Apparently, he's told multiple different stories to this one part. This is why people think he's Ireland's Jesse Smollett. I think that's brilliant.
Towards him, I greeted him, "Assalamu alaikum," and he said, "Wa alaikum salam." Now, obviously, he was born, as he said, and he was half Irish, half Pakistani. So if he had an Irish accent like that, it's fine. The other person I saw looked very, different. He looked very Irish, looked, and he had a hoodie on. And then I looked towards my car, and I just wanted to open the door so I could get the document, the marriage certificate with me. As soon as I looked towards the car, I just remember wanting to open the door. I don't remember anything after that. So they hit me, and when they hit me, I was knocked down. I felt unconscious.
So he was approached by a guy that was a Muslim, is a Muslim, and he was attacked by that community. I don't care about the other guy. The guy that approached him was a Muslim. And this is where I think, if you scrape it back right to the start, he was attacked, I think, for speaking up. As he said, he was active online, speaking up against racism and all the generic things that people do, right? I don't do that. But unless it's real racism, of course, I hate real racism. But he also was very active talking about his own people, Islamic violence, and the killing of innocent people. So I'm assuming he says he doesn't support Hamas when they provoked what Israel's doing right now, and they killed those people in Israel. He's probably spoke about that, and I think that's why he was attacked.
So I don't remember anything except I woke up in the car, in my own car, and there were people around me. There was a lady, Irish lady, it was 2 Irish men, and they were talking to me. They were telling me you were attacked, and we've seen it, and we've called the Garda, we've called the ambulance. It took me 45 minutes. So by 9:30, the first message I sent was 9:30 p.m. from my phone to the management. There's a group for the mosque management, some of our volunteers. And I said, I'm here at this address, this location. I've been attacked. Please come. So within 15 minutes, 20 minutes, there were 5-6 people from my community who were
you
there.
received lots of support and people got you.
So I think he was attacked by his own people. I definitely think he was attacked by his own people. And just to react to that, so Warren says they don't give an F about the law of the land. Some of them don't. Some of them do. But it definitely seems like, when it comes to this story, do I think he's lying? He never touched his face once. He never touched his ear once. I think it did happen to him. So I don't think he's as bad as Jesse Smollett, where Jesse said they had ropes and everything, and there was the Klan walking down the street. I think it was like -20 at the time. He went the subway. I don't think it was that, but I think he was set up. I think his own community went, we can't have one of our own speaking up against what we're doing. It seems like to a certain degree he's unbiased. Like he'll call out certain things that other people don't like, maybe the nationalists don't like, but he'll also call out his own community. That's not the same as Jesse Smollett. Jesse was the guy that basically made that, fabricated that whole story, paid people to do that. Were they even real? And try to make out that the Klan was after him when that wasn't the thing at all. And the black community in America knew that he was lying. I think with this one, I think he's telling the truth, but I think it was his own people that done it. And I think they knew it could be a double whammy for them. So they could go, right, well, we could get this put down as racial violence against Muslims, but at the same time send a message to him to shut his mouth. Now, I guarantee after this, he's not going to be as active online. So he's not going to be talking about Islamic violence that's happening all around the world. He's not going to talk about the Israeli-Palestinian thing. He's not going to talk about the Christians that are being butchered in Africa as we speak. He's not going to be talking about the fees, the taxes Christians and other religions have to pay in Islamic areas just to practice that religion. He's not going to be speaking about those things anymore because they don't want him speaking about it. And he was approached by somebody who graded him as a Muslim. Now, obviously, you could have that both ways. You could say, well, it could be a person that wasn't a Muslim that graded him like that to throw off the scent that it was actually a racial attack. I think he's telling the truth, though, but I think it was his own people. And I think that was a warning to him. Shut your mouth, mate, because if you keep speaking, this is only going to escalate. And I think that's what it is. I don't think he's lying, though. But I will look into it further in regards to his story, because I think his story's changed like 2 or 3 times, and that is worrying. What I will say is when it comes to an attack, just say he got cracked in the back of the head. You probably would be a little bit daisy about the story. Do you think he's as bad as Jesse? No. Do you think he's lying? I don't think he is. And I think the fact that he isn't lying is actually worrying. And that backs, just hypothetically speaking, if I'm correct about this, and that was his own people that done that, then that backs up my theory that you cannot whistle blow in Islam. You cannot whistle blow in any community around the world if it's connected to Islam, because if you do that, you could be attacked. And we're seeing that all over. We're seeing that in England. Tommy Robinson, he spoke about this. I've been following him for years. I understand people say he's a Zionist shill and all the rest. I don't think he is, to be honest with you. He'd be the worst shill. He'd be the worst agent for Mossad ever, because he just speaks about everything. So, this is a common theme in England. I've spoke to victims of the Telford grooming gangs. I've spoke to victims of Islamic violence in England. Not so much in Ireland. I will be diving into that. That was on my other channel that got taken down. But I will look into this one. But if I was to put my money on this, I would say he was attacked by Muslims to shut his mouth about the things that he was talking about online in regards to Islamic violence. And he's the first guy I've ever heard, the first Muslim guy I've ever heard come out and say, you know what? I spoke about this online. I disagree with the Islamic violence against innocent people around the world. He's the first Muslim guy I've ever heard say that. So I'm going to give him credit for that one. And, that's possibly why he was attacked. So the next thing we're going to be reacting to, let me just get this up here, is Mary Lou talking about the referendums that are coming up. And I definitely think, let me just see if I can get this up here. And I definitely think this is a telltale sign for what's happening in the future. And this is, Leo Varadkar walked away from Ben when he asked that question. This co-aligns in with this. Mary Lou saying, if we don't get the yes vote, we're going to have another referendum. The fact that she's saying that now is an indication that she's trying to normalize not accepting votes and not accepting democracy, because she understands the vast majority of Ireland. And think about what they're asking for here. They're trying to take the protection away from women. Women should be protected, to be protected by the state, to be able to raise families and stay in the home if they want. And if they want to go out and have a high flying career, fair play to them, more power to them. But the fact that they're trying to take that away is absolutely mental. Like, they're trying to do this under the alias that this is good for women, but it's not. This is bad for women. Let me just share this to the screen. And forgive me, I am going to the opticians. I am going to the opticians to see if I can get myself a pair of glasses. The only articles I can read well are the Sky News, because the words are so big because I can see them. So, let me just take this away. That's it. Get away, stupid ad, Aer Lingus. Get away. Mary Lou McDonald says Sinn Féin will rerun referendums on family and care if they do not pass. Now, during COVID, I dived into media language. And I'm not an expert, but I'm sort of an amateur expert on it, right? So you need to understand what that title says there, right? So Mary Lou McDonald says Sinn Féin will rerun referendums on family and care if they do not pass. So they've worded that, even the Independent have worded that, family and care. Call it what it is, the destruction of the Constitution. And it's not referendums on family and care to implement more care for families. It's got nothing to do with that. Right now, women are protected in Ireland. They have the right to stay at home and raise a family and do that. For thousands of years of evolution in all different hominids and humans and Homo sapiens to the Neanderthals, where women are strong is raising children. Women are strong in the house. They're also strong having high-flying careers and becoming CEOs. Nobody's denying that. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to destroy what the rights that the women have under the alias that this is more care for the family. And at the same time, under the change of the Constitution, I think they will be able to recognize like lots of people being the parent of one child. I think I'm not 100% sure in that. So like one person could say that there's 10 fathers and they have to be recognized all the same. Like polygamy and monogamy can all be recognized as a family unit. And that is a clear attack on the family. So you would think to yourself, with all the social issues that are going on in Ireland right now in regards to extreme immigration, with rapes up, murders are up, crimes up, homeless is up. Why are they focusing on this? Because before I read all this article, I want you to remember this here. Go back to the movie Little Nicky, right? I know it was a comedy. It was a brilliant, brilliant movie. But whenever the devil came up from the ground, right? Take away who was good and bad in that movie, right? It was just a comedy. But the premise is the same. Whenever the devil came up, the devil's son came up, he changed everything that was normal to abnormal and then made everybody conditioned to it, right? Everybody was conditioned to sin. I don't care if you're religious. I don't care if you're an atheist. Just hear what I'm saying here, right? So that's what they're doing now. Everything that is abnormal, they're trying to normalize. And we're just about 5 years away from them putting pedophiles into a protected characteristic. So if you speak up against a pedophile, or you call a pedophile what they actually are, a dirty, rotten root or a nonce, then you've just committed a hate crime. And that's where I see Ireland going here. So these little changes we have to be intolerant to. So when Mary Lou comes out here and says, if we don't get the vote we want, we're going to rerun referendums, that is a clear attack on democracy, regardless of what side it sits on, if it's left or right. If anybody comes out with this type of stuff, this is the real grip of tyranny, and you need to know that. Mary Lou McDonald has said a Sinn Féin government will rerun the referendums on family and care if they do not pass next month. That's it. I don't even need to read any more. I don't need to read any more. That's what you said. See, the rest of that is completely irrelevant. The rest of that, I'm not actually going to read anymore because you need to focus on this. This is an attack on democracy. This is what they're doing. So your vote doesn't count. And what's the subliminal to that? And I always look at the subliminal. Why would she be coming out and saying things like that? Let me just remove this for 2 seconds. So what they're doing there is, that's a good tactic, by the way. The extreme left are very, very good. So what she's basically saying there is, your votes don't count, hoping that a majority of you go, well, look, our vote doesn't count anyway, so we're not going to go and vote. And then the whack jobs vote will rise because all the whack jobs are going to vote, all the extreme left, all the pedos and the people who hate women and the people that, that virtue signal, they're going to vote. You need to know this. So this is an attack on you, and they're hoping that you don't go and vote. So if they release an article and they say, well, even if you vote and we don't get the answer we want, we're going to rerun the referendum. What's the point of voting then? That's what people would be thinking. I'm going to have to fight it on even further. Do you know what? Fuck it. Just have that. I couldn't be bothered with it. Whatever. Yeah. No, you need to go and vote, because if you're not voting, these people are going to vote this in anyway. And what you should do is, if there's another referendum in this, then you have the right to protest. There's grounds here for overthrowing, by the way, because if you look at a lot of constitutions around the world, if there is a referendum or if there is a vote, a political vote or a vote of the people for a certain thing, and the government discards that vote, then the people of that land can see that as tyrannical. And under certain constitutions, I have to look at the Irish Constitution, the Irish people have the right to overthrow. So they expect you not to know that. A lot of people probably, I don't know if that's in the Irish Constitution, it might not be, but I know it's in the American one. So you need to know that. And they will have to accept the votes. They're just doing that now to try to penetrate your psyche so you don't actually go and vote. Why would you vote for something if it's pointless? Why would you take time out of your day and vote for something if it's pointless? You just would do it. You know what? Fuck it. Just have that. I couldn't be bothered with you. These are all whack jobs. And yeah, if you want to destroy women's rights, go ahead. I don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? Where this is a clear attack on women. They're trying to normalize the abnormal here. And you really, really need to vote no. And it's as plain and simple as that. I'm not going to read anymore because that's what you said. That was at the top of the article, and that's it. So we're going to go to another article here. We're going to go to Conor McGregor, his views on things. And then we actually might react to a bit of Niall McConnell's stuff, because he put up a thing today. I want to react to one of his videos where he stops the guy in the nice car, the Discovery, the guy in Donegal that's housed all those illegal immigrants. So you can see that okay. Conor McGregor calls for no vote in upcoming referendums. Irish mixed martial artist star Conor McGregor has called for a no vote in Ireland's upcoming referendum for family. Thank God somebody actually called it for what it is. They're trying to change the definition of a family. And that is a clear attack on the family, the nuclear family, the people, the bread and butter of every society. On Tuesday night this week, the Dubliner reposted a gripped video on social media in which Taoiseach Leo Varadkar ignored a reporter's question on the referendum, walking away from the podium while the journalist was mid-sentence. The UFC 2-division world champion took his opportunity to make his feelings on the upcoming vote known. Vote no, he wrote to the 10.4 million followers on X. And you know what you need to know about this when it comes to Conor McGregor. So, but for instance, Jordan Peterson didn't know what was happening in Ireland until Conor McGregor posts about it. So it's very important that there's people out there like Conor McGregor. Okay, do I agree with the way he was speaking during the start of the COVID lockdowns? Definitely not. He didn't have a clue what he was talking about. He was sitting in islands telling people to mask up and we need the lockdown everywhere. And we know that that was wrong now, right? I'll give him that. And there's certain things that he's came out with in regards to Christianity. Like in his early days, he was coming out with wacky stuff saying he wanted to fight Jesus and all. And I found I sort of tuned out then. And he's got some questionable behaviour too, but he's still an Irishman and he understands that Leo Varadkar and the loony bins that are running Ireland right now are attacking every avenue that they can, whether it be women in Ireland, men in Ireland, the Irish natives, homeless people. He's attacking all of that, and he's actively destroying Ireland. So Conor McGregor doesn't need to do this. He's got millions. He can go off and live in LA, live in Florida, live around the world, go to Dubai or wherever he likes to go to. He doesn't need to be doing this. So he is an Irish patriot, or whatever you want to say about him. And he is highlighting this. So fair play to that. And the people that he's highlighting it to are big dogs in America, big dogs across the world that don't have a clue what's going on in Ireland. And I do believe that because of Conor McGregor's highlighting this, that Jordan Peterson has actually looked into it. And regardless what you think of Jordan Peterson, he is. I went to see Jordan Peterson live in Belfast. He is crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. Like he's got some presence on him. It was right up close. He sits. He puts his finger in your face and all. He's quite a dominating character. But a lot of the stuff he says is fact and true. You know, so. He's 100% right. And he doesn't want, think about this, right? Generations go on. Conor McGregor lives and dies. His kids have kids and their kids have kids. And they could just turn into normal people in Ireland. So what he's thinking about is, and what I'm thinking about is not just my generation and my son's generation, but the generation after and the generation after that we won't be there. So everything that we do now is going to have a ripple effect for our future generations. So if we allow this type of tyrannical system to change the Constitution of Ireland and redefine the family and take away women's rights, that will only get worse. It's like falling down a hole. There's no stopping. You can't stop gravity, but you can put something in place where the blow is going to be lessened. And right now, it's people like Conor McGregor that are the sort of the safety cushion for Ireland. So whenever we do fall and we do hit the ground, it's not going to be as hard. Leo Varadkar wants us falling from a 1,000-foot building. That's what he wants. He wants the Irish people to be destroyed, and there's no getting away from that. And the fact that it takes people like Conor McGregor to come out here and say this, Leo Varadkar's just a wrong. He's a proper wrong. And to do this to women, and this whole family reunification, I know they have that already, but to do this to women, man, this is, what are they doing? Why, what is the purpose of it? Once again, I just have to go back to it. They are doing this because this is being filtered down from Europe. There is a tarantula in a massive spider web of Europe. The little dots around that spider web, all the little flies caught, are countries. Leo Varadkar right now is pleasing his masters in Europe. He doesn't know any other way. He's thinking to himself, this is what I have to do because my masters are telling me to do this, because the people are actively trying to destroy Europe. As I said, what is it? What's for the future? So what do I see for the future of Ireland? Well, I see the future of Ireland just like the future of Italy, just like the future of all other European countries. Central control of money with cryptocurrencies, right? Because they got their finger into that. Central control of food because they've attacked the farmers and they're trying to basically get all that land and have all those farmers basically working for them as like in communism, where they have central control of the food and they can control inflation and the prices of food. That's why they're attacking the farmers. Make the abnormal normal. So then you're living in a wacky world. Everything's confusing you. That's what they're trying to do right now. That's why you feel so confused, because this is the agenda. When it comes to communists and far leftists, it's not about what happens in 6 months or tomorrow. It's what happens in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. Just look at China. They play the long game. Look at North Korea. They play the long game. They don't think about tomorrow. They think about the next 10 years. Where most people that are normal, we're just living day to day. We just want to, be able to make sure that we're safe tomorrow. We're not thinking about 10 years away. They are. And that's the hive mentality. And that Leo Varadkar is one of the hive of Europe. Whether he knows this or not, he might not even know he's doing this. He might not be coherently evil and think that he is evil, but what he's doing is, in the policies that he's accepting and implementing into Ireland are evil. And we can't accept this. The Irish people have one trait that you need to adopt to fight against this is to be intolerant. Your ancestors were intolerant. The Irish people generations ago were intolerant. We were intolerant to the British. We were intolerant to British rule. We still are here in the North. We're intolerant to all of this. So we have to be intolerant to other invasions, to other policies that are tyrannical. If you're not intolerant and you're tolerant to your government, regardless if your government is left-leaning or right-leaning, then what you're opening the door to is tyranny. Be very, very intolerant. Tolerance, to me, is one of the weakest things a man could ever have. I would rather have an intolerant 8-stone wet through man with glasses and no muscle mass than a 20-stone bodybuilder that knows Brazilian jiu-jitsu and is a professional boxer that's tolerant. Because the 8-stone man wet through that's intolerant will help you more. And you just need to know that. Be very, very intolerant to what's happening here. And sometimes you have to act like a Karen, and not to the people in the street, but to your government. With this whole referendum thing, it's a double whammy. You just need to know this. I think this is the most important thing that you just need to hear here, is that it's a double whammy for them. They're trying to penetrate the psyche of the normal folk of Ireland. Why should I vote? Sure, they're not going to accept my vote. They're going to rerun the referendum. So there's no point in me voting now. It's very, very important that you vote, because if you don't vote, then you won't even have the opportunity to protest against it, because they're going to get what they want. They understand that the majority of Ireland is against them. They understand that Ireland's changing. Hopefully Ireland changes for the better. Hopefully this time next year, I'm doing a live stream saying to you that Ireland has gotten a lot better and these whack jobs are out of the job. That's what I want to be doing next year. But listen, thanks to everybody that's tuned in. That was an hour today. I'm gonna leave it at that. Big respect to all of you. Big respect to Saladin. Watch all your stuff, mate, and I hope you're well. If you're watching this on Rumble, make sure to give this a rumble and give it a share. If you're watching this on X, make sure to retweet this and give it a heart. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share. If you want to go follow me on the free speech platforms, the links are in the description. The handles are in the description, sorry, because YouTube have taken my ability to post links in the description because of my last channel. My last channel got taken from me. My big channel got taken from me because I spoke the truth on things, and now they won't even allow me to post links in the description. So that's it, guys. That's it for today. Have a fantastic, what day is today? Wednesday. And that's it. Peace out.